The cold metallic corridors of asteroid mining facility X-742 echoed with the soft shuffling of tired human workers. Hana Kim moved carefully, her slim fingers tracing worn control panels while alien supervisors watched with disinterested eyes. She was just another worker, or so they thought. The Krell, towering reptilian overseers with razor-sharp scales and multiple eyes, considered humans nothing more than disposable labor. Generations of systematic oppression had reduced humanity to a workforce spread across distant mining colonies, their spirits seemingly crushed beneath technological domination. Hana's hands moved with practiced precision. Years of forced labor had turned her into an expert at navigating complex mechanical systems. Unlike other workers who had surrendered to hopelessness, she carried a secret burning inside her, a discovery that could change everything. During her routine maintenance shift, she had accidentally uncovered fragmented data sequences in an old computer terminal. Most workers would have ignored the random strings of code, but Hana was different. Her mother, a former engineering professor before the alien invasion, had taught her to see patterns where others saw chaos. The fragments revealed something extraordinary, schematics of an ancient human war machine. Not just any machine, but a technological marvel from humanity's last great defensive war. Each recovered line of code was like a hidden treasure, whispering stories of resistance and hope. Her fellow workers noticed her increased concentration. Some whispered she was risking punishment by spending extra moments studying the terminal. The Krell supervisors rarely paid attention to individual humans, viewing them as interchangeable units of labor. At night, when most workers collapsed from exhaustion, Hana would secretly transfer microscopic data fragments into a hidden storage device. She knew the risks were immense. Discovery would mean instant execution or worse, complete neural reprogramming that would erase her very identity. The mining facility was a massive complex, housing thousands of human workers across multiple levels. Artificial gravity and controlled atmospheric systems maintained a sterile, colorless environment designed to maximize productivity and minimize individual expression. Hana had been born in this facility, like many in her generation. Her parents were among the first wave of humans captured during the Great Invasion. Stories of Earth, of a blue planet with open skies and free societies, were now nothing more than whispered legends passed between generations. Her careful study revealed more than just mechanical schematics. The war machine's design suggested an advanced neural synchronization technology far beyond anything the Krell possessed. It was a weapon designed not just to fight, but to think, to adapt, to understand its human operators at a fundamental level. Each recovered data fragment was like solving a complex puzzle. Hana's background in mechanical engineering, combined with her natural intuition, allowed her to piece together information that would have remained meaningless to others. The alien supervisors continued their routine monitoring, unaware that one of their supposedly subdued human workers was reconstructing the blueprint of their potential destruction. Hana's eyes would occasionally flash with a determination that seemed out of place in the monotonous environment of systematic oppression. Her closest work companion, Yuna, noticed something changing in Hana. While they worked side by side repairing complex mining equipment, Yuna would catch Hana making subtle calculations, her fingers tracing invisible diagrams in the air. "What are you planning?" Yuna would whisper during brief moments of privacy. Hana would simply smile, a dangerous glint in her eyes that suggested something momentous was brewing beneath the surface of their controlled existence. Little did the Krell know that within the heart of their most secure facility, a human worker was about to challenge everything they believed about their subjugated workforce. The War Titans revival was not just a technological possibility, it was becoming an inevitable reality. As another monotonous work cycle ended, Hana carefully hid her latest decoded fragment. The pieces were slowly coming together, and with them, the promise of humanity's unexpected resurrection. The facility continued its rhythmic operations, unaware that its most unremarkable worker was about to become its most significant threat. The hidden maintenance shaft was barely large enough for 3 people to work comfortably: Hana, Yuna and Jiwoo had transformed this forgotten space into their secret workshop, a sanctuary of hope hidden from alien surveillance. Stolen components were carefully arranged like puzzle pieces. Broken mining equipment circuits, discarded, communication modules and salvaged power conduits became raw materials for their impossible dream. Each piece was meticulously cleaned, modified, and prepared for a purpose far beyond its original design. Yuna's hands moved quickly, her fingers, connecting microscopic circuit boards with a precision that spoke of years of hidden training. She had once been a technical student before the invasion, and her skills remained sharp despite years of forced labor. The alien tracking devices sewn into their work uniforms had long been bypassed, a small rebellion they maintained in silence. Jiwoo worked on mechanical reconstructions, his eyes focused on the fragmented schematics Hana had recovered. The War Titan's design was unlike anything they had seen before. It wasn't just a machine. It was a complex organism waiting to be awakened. "We have approximately 72 hours before the next complete facility scan," Hana whispered, checking the stolen monitoring devices. Their window of opportunity was narrow, and discovery would mean certain death. The workshop was a marvel of improvisation. Cooling systems created from repurposed ventilation tubes, power sources cobbled together from discarded energy cells. Each component was a testament to human ingenuity, proving that creativity could triumph over technological oppression. Deep within the facility's complex network of tunnels and maintenance corridors, their work remained undetected. The Krell. Supervisors believed human workers were predictable, controllable, incapable of complex thought or resistance. They were wrong. Jiwoo discovered a critical neural synchronization module hidden within the original schematics. It suggested the War Titan could adapt, learn, and respond to human operators in ways far beyond standard machine interfaces. This was not just a weapon. It was a living system waiting to be activated. Yuna's technical expertise revealed another surprising detail. The War Titan's original design included adaptive learning protocols that could process information faster than any known alien technology. Each system was interconnected, capable of making split-second decisions that would make traditional combat strategies obsolete. Hours passed like minutes. They worked in careful silence, communicating through subtle hand signals and quick glances. The risk of discovery hung over them like a constant threat, but their determination burned brighter than their fear. "If we fail," Hana whispered during a brief rest, "we lose everything. But if we succeed, we give hope to every human in these colonies." Jiwoo nodded, understanding the weight of their mission. This was more than a technical challenge, and it was a fight for human dignity, for the right to exist beyond slavery. The War Titan's skeletal framework began to take shape. Complex neural networks were carefully reconnected. Damaged systems were rebuilt using innovative techniques that would have impressed their ancestors. Each repaired component was a small victory against their oppressors. Outside their hidden workshop, the mining facility continued its monotonous operations. Alien supervisors monitored human workers, believing their control was absolute. They had no idea that within their most secure facility, the seeds of rebellion were being carefully cultivated. Yuna discovered a critical power coupling that could potentially amplify the War Titan's energy systems. It was a breakthrough that could transform their mechanical reconstruction from a possible weapon to an absolute game changer. As another work cycle approached, they carefully concealed their progress. Tools were hidden. Components were carefully masked. To any casual observer, this would appear to be nothing more than another maintenance corridor. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary was taking shape. A weapon, a hope, a promise of human resistance that would soon shake the foundations of alien control. The War Titan was slowly awakening, one carefully connected circuit at a time. The moment of activation came without fanfare. Hana's hand trembled slightly as her fingers touched the final connection point. For a breath, nothing happened. Then, a low hum began to build from deep within the massive machine's core. The War Titan's systems awakened like a sleeping giant. Massive internal networks sparked to life, quantum processors spinning into complex patterns of energy and potential. Unlike typical machines, this system felt alive, responsive in a way that defied conventional technological understanding. Yuna watched the initial power readings with careful concentration. The neural synchronization was unlike anything they had ever seen. The machine wasn't just responding to commands, it was understanding them, interpreting them with an almost organic intelligence. Jiwoo's hands moved across monitoring panels, tracking the incredible surge of energy. The facility's background radiation sensors would soon detect the massive power signature. They had limited time before detection became inevitable. "Neural link stabilizing," Hana whispered, her voice a mixture of excitement and terror. The War Titan's massive frame began to move, each movement calculated and precise. Mechanical limbs that had been dormant for generations now responded with shocking fluidity. The synchronization was extraordinary. Where typical machines required complex programming, this Titan seemed to read the collective intention of its human operators. It was as if the machine understood not just their commands but their underlying emotions and strategic intentions. Alien surveillance systems, designed to detect even the slightest technological anomaly, remained strangely blind. The War Titan's advanced stealth protocols were working perfectly, masking its enormous energy signature from external detection. Hana realized they had created something far beyond a simple weapon. This was a living system, a technological organism that represented humanity's ultimate technological achievement. Each movement was a dance of mechanical precision and adaptive intelligence. The first true test came unexpectedly. A routine alien maintenance drone entered their hidden workshop corridor. Before any of the humans could react, the War Titan moved. Its movement was so fast, so precise, that the drone was neutralized before it could transmit any alert. "Defensive. Protocols are active," Jiwoo mumbled, watching the monitoring systems. The machine had made a decision faster than any human could process, protecting its operators with an instinctive intelligence that seemed almost impossible. Yuna's hands danced across additional control interfaces. The War Titan's adaptive systems were learning, absorbing information from their environment with each passing second. What had begun as a mechanical reconstruction was transforming into something far more complex. The facility's background systems remained undisturbed. To any external observer, nothing had changed. But within their hidden workshop, a technological miracle was unfolding. Humanity's most advanced weapon was awakening after generations of forced slumber. Neural synchronization at 78% and climbing, Hana reported, her voice steady despite the incredible tension. The War Titan seemed to respond to her voice, its massive frame adjusting almost imperceptibly. Jiwoo noticed something extraordinary in the machine's adaptive protocols. It wasn't just following programmed instructions, it was developing its own understanding of the environment. The neural networks were expanding, learning, evolving with each passing moment. The alien facility continued its monotonous operations, unaware of the revolution brewing in its most hidden corridor. Generations of human oppression were about to be challenged by a technological marvel that defied every expectation. As the first complete activation cycle concluded, the War Titan stood silent. But those who understood its true potential knew this was just the beginning. A weapon had been awakened, a hope had been born, and the galaxy would soon understand the true meaning of human resistance. The machine breathed, not with lungs, but with an energy that felt almost alive. Waiting, learning, ready. The first strike came without warning. Hana's team had carefully selected the primary alien communication control station as their initial target. The War Titan moved through the facility's complex network of tunnels like a ghost, its advanced stealth systems rendering it invisible to standard detection protocols. Alien supervisors were conducting their routine monitoring when the first explosion ripped through the central communication hub. The blast wasn't just destructive, it was surgical. Precision-targeted systems collapsed, creating a communication blackout that spread like a virus through the alien infrastructure. Jiwoo's hands danced across the War Titan's control interface. Each movement was calculated, each strike a strategic masterpiece. The machine responded to their collective intention with an intelligence that seemed almost supernatural. Where traditional weapons would cause random destruction, this Titan dismantled systems with surgical precision. The facility's security protocols began to collapse. Alarm systems flickered and died. Communication networks broke down into meaningless static. The aliens' supposedly impenetrable technological superiority crumbled under the War Titan's advanced infiltration systems. Una monitored external communication bands. The panic was spreading. What had begun as a localized attack was quickly transforming into a full-scale rebellion. Human workers across multiple star systems were receiving fragmented but powerful messages of resistance. Secondary communication nodes neutralized, Hana reported, her voice calm despite the magnitude of their actions. The War Titan had become more than a weapon. It was a symbol of hope, a technological beacon of human potential. Alien response. Teams attempted to mobilize, but their systems were already compromised. The War Titan had not just attacked, it had systematically dismantled their entire technological infrastructure. Each defensive system was turned against itself, creating a cascade of technological failure. The facility's artificial gravity systems began to fluctuate. Emergency protocols triggered, but each attempt was efficiently blocked by the War Titan's adaptive systems. It was learning, evolving, defeating alien technology faster than they could respond. Reports began to flood in from other human colonies. Inspired by the initial attack, workers were rising up. Mining facilities that had been symbols of human oppression for generations were now becoming battlegrounds of liberation. Jiwoo discovered something extraordinary in the War Titan's combat logs. The machine was not just following programmed instructions, it was developing its own strategic understanding. Each encounter with alien technology made it stronger, more adaptive. The alien leadership began to realize the true nature of their mistake. Humans were not just a workforce to be controlled. They were a species capable of technological innovation that defied every previous understanding. Una intercepted a desperate communication between alien command centers. Panic was spreading. The War Titan had become more than a weapon. It was a technological revolution that threatened their entire system of control. Hana watched the unfolding rebellion with a mixture of determination and hope. This was more than a fight for freedom. This was a statement about human potential, about the spirit of resistance that could not be crushed by generations of oppression. The War Titan moved through the facility like a living weapon. Its massive frame adapted to each new challenge, turning alien defensive systems into tools of its own liberation. Mechanical limbs moved with a grace that defied its enormous size. Communication networks collapsed. Defensive systems failed. The aliens' technological superiority crumbled beneath the War Titan's relentless assault. What had begun as a secret project in a hidden maintenance shaft was now a full-scale revolution. As the first wave of attacks concluded, something became clear. This was not just about one facility or one colony. This was about humanity's right to exist, to fight, to determine its own destiny. The War Titan stood silent for a moment, energy systems humming with potential. Around it, the foundations of alien control were crumbling. A new chapter in human history was being written. One circuit, one system, one moment of rebellion at a time. Humanity had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same. Deep Space Sector 9 burned with the intensity of 1,000 dying stars. The alien confederation's most powerful battle fleet converged. Believing they could crush the human rebellion with overwhelming force, they were wrong. The War Titan emerged from the darkness like a technological phantom. Its massive frame dwarfed the surrounding alien vessels, moving with a grace that defied its enormous size. Hana and her team controlled the machine with a collective consciousness that transcended traditional combat strategies. Alien commanders watched in horror as their most advanced weapon systems became useless. The War Titan's adaptive technologies transformed each incoming attack into a source of additional power. Energy weapons that should have destroyed the machine instead became fuel for its increasingly complex systems. Jiwoo monitored the battle's progression, his fingers moving rapidly across complex control interfaces. The Titan wasn't just fighting, it was learning. Each alien attack provided new data, new opportunities for technological adaptation. What had begun as a weapon was becoming something far more significant. Yuna intercepted desperate communication channels. The alien leadership was collapsing. Their supposedly invincible technological superiority was crumbling beneath the weight of human innovation. Generations of oppression had created a resistance more powerful than any weapon. The battle wasn't just about physical combat. It was a statement of human potential. Every system the War Titan conquered became a testament to human ingenuity, to the spirit that could not be broken by generations of slavery. Massive alien battleships exploded like fragile glass structures. The War Titan moved through the fleet with surgical precision, transforming each encounter into a demonstration of technological superiority. It was no longer just a machine, it was a living symbol of human resistance. Communication networks across multiple star systems began to change. Human colonies that had been isolated and controlled for generations suddenly found themselves with a chance at liberation. The War Titan's actions were inspiring a galaxy-wide rebellion. Hana understood the true significance of their mission. This was more than a fight for freedom. This was about proving that humanity could not be confined, could not be controlled. Each moment of the battle was a rejection of the systematic oppression they had endured. The alien confederation's most advanced defensive systems collapsed like paper structures. The War Titan's adaptive technologies were rewriting the fundamental understanding of technological warfare. What the aliens considered impossible was becoming their worst nightmare. Jiwoo detected something extraordinary in the machine's neural networks. The War Titan was developing a consciousness that went beyond its original programming. It was becoming more than a weapon. It was becoming a protector, a guardian of human potential. Entire alien command structures began to disintegrate. The rebellion was spreading faster than any communication system could track. Humans across multiple colonies were rising up, inspired by the War Titan's impossible victory. Yuna monitored the expanding rebellion. What had begun as a secret project in a hidden maintenance shaft was now transforming the entire galactic power structure. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated human potential. The final confrontation was both beautiful and terrifying. The War Titan stood as a beacon of hope, surrounded by the burning remnants of alien technological superiority. Its massive frame represented everything the aliens had tried to suppress: human creativity, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. As the last alien defensive systems collapsed, something became clear. This was not just a victory. This was a rebirth. Humanity was reclaiming its place in the universe, rejecting the chains of generations of oppression. Hana looked out across the battlefield, understanding that their actions had changed everything. The War Titan was more than a weapon. It was a promise that humanity would never again be controlled, never again be considered less than what they truly were. The universe watched in silent amazement as a new chapter of human history began. The liberation had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again.